Before I begin this letter, I want to take a moment to speak about what it truly means to channel. Channeling is not the act of calling upon something outside yourself. It is the art of becoming quite up inside that your higher self, that eternal spark of source within you, can finally be heard. When someone channels, they're not possessed or overtaken by another being. They are opening to communion, allowing a flow of wisdom, light, and love from higher dimensions of consciousness that already exist within the greater field of who we are. You might think of it as tuning on a radio. The signal was always there. You simply adjust your frequency to receive it clearly. Sometimes this wisdom comes as words, visions, or feelings. Sometimes it carries the vibration of a particular consciousness, a guide, a teacher, or an aspect of collective spirit. When I speak in this letter, I am not claiming any special power. I am simply sharing from my heart what resonates through my own connection with the higher light, a remembrance of truth that belongs to all of humanity, a message of love. In the quantum reality of the Creator, what you call death is revealed as an illusion. There is no true ending, only a transition, a shift in vibration and form. Many humans have been taught to fear death, or even see it as divine punishment. We lovingly dissolve this misunderstanding now from our higher awareness. Source is pure love and eternal life. Your soul is an immortal spark. It cannot be extinguished by the shedding of a physical body. When the body's life cycle completes, your consciousness simply moves into another state of being, like stepping through a doorway into a new room. The divine will for you has always been continuous life, growth, and goodness. Any belief that the Creator's plan includes suffering or a final end is a product of human fear, not spiritual truth. In the vast quantum universe, energy is never destroyed. It only changes form, so it is with you. What humans label as death is in fact a sacred birth in a new light. Every soul who dies in the physical sense is lovingly received into a higher reality, their essence untouched and alive. You remain eternally connected with those you love, despite any appearance of separation. Embracing the knowing that there is no true death lifts a great weight of fear from your heart. The apparent finality of an ending dissolves, replaced by an understanding of divine continuity. Even if you shed your physical garment, you, the real you, persist in brilliance. We invite you now to release the old fear of endings. See each transition as a new dawn for the soul. Returning to the spiritual realms is a gentle homecoming, an expansion into freedom. Death is not an enemy, but a pause in one form of experience before the next adventure of the spirit. The texts you call the Dead Sea Scrolls contain a secret code lost for millennia that we will expand upon today, and why it's imperative for star seeds to use the current energy window to reactivate it. Know that you are eternally anchored in spirit. The presence at your core is birthless and deathless. Understanding this truth frees you to live fully, guided by love rather than fear. All is truly well, for life in the divine cannot be lost, only transformed. We surround you in the peace of this realization. You are forever alive in the light of the Creator. Beloved ones, within the higher vibrations of enlightenment, humor arises as a liberating force. Laughter carries a high frequency that dissolves dense energies and illusions. We encourage you not to take your human drama so seriously. From our expanded perspective, the human journey is like a grand play of lessons, often sprinkled with cosmic comedy. When you can gently laugh at your own ego, you break the chains of heaviness and self-judgment. This is not ridicule, but a compassionate smile at the little self that once believed it was unworthy. In truth, your eternal soul knows that the fears and limitations of human life are only temporary costumes. To laugh with love at these costumes is to begin removing them. Recall how a sudden burst of laughter can bring instant relief from tension or fear. In that moment, your energy field opens and light rushes in. Humor aligned with love is sacred medicine. It reminds you that many seemingly insurmountable problems are in the grand picture fleeting scenes on life's stage. Often after a period of struggle, you may suddenly see the absurdity of your worries and find yourself smiling. That is your soul encouraging you to release the weight. Even your spiritual quest can grow heavy if taken too seriously. So the universe often responds with playful nudges to help you lighten up. We do not diminish the challenges you face, but we wish to ease your burdens by infusing them with lightness. The frequency of humor lifts you into a broader view where solutions emerge and the pressure of the moment fades. Your guides smile with you to reassure you that all is well. Even in the midst of difficulty, a sincere laugh or simple smile can reconnect you to your heart and instantly raise your vibration. The obstacle that loomed large now appears as a passing cloud in the sky of your soul's awareness. Allow yourself the freedom to find joy and gentle humor in your journey. When you stumble or err, laugh kindly at yourself. When limiting beliefs surface, chuckle at how you once believed them. Such mirth liberates you, signaling that those illusions no longer hold you. Laughing at the tricks of the ego robs them of power, and your inner light expands as seriousness melts away. In the radiant truth of the Creator, joy is your natural state. Let humor be a bridge from density into joyful liberation. In laughter, you align with the universe's wink, acknowledging that you are safe. You are growing, and it is all right to find delight in the dance of life. You are not a being struggling toward the light. You are the light simply remembering your truth. In the depths of incarnation, you may have forgotten your origin. We see your true self clearly, an angelic radiant essence in physical form. Spiritual awakening is not becoming something new. It is remembering who you have always been. No matter how lost or separate you have felt, the light within you has never dimmed. From higher perspective, you were never truly cut off from the divine. You only closed your inner eyes for a while. Many carry a feeling of being far from home, trying to earn their way back into divine grace. This is an old story born of the illusion of separation. In truth, you have never left the embrace of the Creator. Imagine a sunbeam believing itself exiled from the sun. It might wander far, yet remains a ray of light still connected to its source. So it is with you. You are a ray of the divine exploring life in human disguise. And nothing you do can break that sacred connection. This journey on earth is about experiencing, learning, and ultimately remembering your original radiance. The moment you choose to turn inward, seeking the truth of your being, you are like a prodigal child returning home. Instantly, the divine self within rushes to welcome you, for it never left. Know that any feeling of unworthiness or loneliness is a false perception of your small self. The key to dissolving such illusions is to gently feel and affirm the angelic nature within. You do not need to become an angelic or divine being. You already are at the core. Simply release the layers of doubt and fear that have obscured your inner light. Remembering your angelic self is a joyful reunion with your soul. As you remember, you might sense your higher self and guides celebrating, for they have always known your magnificent truth. Each day, take a moment to acknowledge, I am the light discovering itself. Breathe deeply and let that truth settle inside you. You are not on earth to prove your worth or earn redemption. You are here to explore creation and to realize the Creator within you. As you remember your divine origin, a profound peace blossoms within, and you move through life with greater confidence and grace, trusting that you are held in the love of Source. The illusion of ever being anything less than light will fade. In its place rises the unshakable knowing that you have always been an expression of the divine. This realization gently awakens you from the dream of separation into the truth of your eternal unity with the divine. Look around at your physical world, your body, your relationships, your circumstances. Every outer structure in your life is a thought form given shape by your inner architect in partnership with the divine. All this matter is a temporary crystallization of one eternal consciousness. Form is like glass molded for a time into a shape while the light of Source shines through it. The shapes may change or even shatter, yet the light remains the same. In truth, your body and worldly conditions are reflections of divine energy taking form. You, as consciousness, are the eternal artist shaping and reshaping this glass of matter. Yet you are also the light shining through it. For a while, a form might appear solid and defining, perhaps a situation in life or an identity you wear. But remember, these are not the ultimate truth of you. Just as a mirror reflects your face, but is not your face, the material world reflects states of consciousness, but is not the true self. When you identify solely with the form, your body, roles, possessions, you may feel fragile and fearful, for all forms eventually change or dissolve. However, when you shift identification to the light shining through the form, you discover your indestructible nature. The glass may break or the image fade, but the light of your being continues forever intact. Consider a fruit tree in spring. Blossoms appear, painting the branches, temporary and beautiful, but they are not the source of the tree's life. When their time passes, they fall away. Yet the tree's life force remains, ready to create again. The tree does not despair at the loss of one season's flowers, for it trusts its inner vitality to bring new growth. In the same way, do not despair when a chapter of life closes or something passes away. Know that within you is an endless wellspring of life and creativity, the divine core that produced those experiences and will produce new ones. By seeing matter as a transient crystallization of spirit, you cultivate gentle detachment and peace amidst change. You learn to judge not by the appearance of the form, but by the truth of the light behind it. When faced with any condition, health or illness, abundance or lack, remind yourself it is just a scene projected on the glass of life. The eternal light of the Creator is projecting through your consciousness to shape these scenes. And with a change in consciousness, a new scene emerges. The power is never in the external form. The power is in the indwelling light and in how you choose to see. Embrace your role as both the light and the artist of form. Knowing this, you become free from fear of loss, able to appreciate each form's beauty while it lasts and let it go when its purpose is fulfilled. In this understanding lies true serenity and mastery over the illusions of the material world. In this living universe, you are both a creation of Source and a creator in your own right. Source. The Creator projects itself as you, an individual expression, and through your mind and heart, you project the world you experience. Much of what you see out there originates from within. Life is like a hologram where the whole is encoded in each part. The external reality you perceive is a mirror reflecting the beliefs, thoughts, and vibrations you hold. Instead of feeling victim to circumstances, you begin to see how your inner world gives rise to your outer world. This does not mean you are to blame for every challenge. Many factors, including collective energies, contribute to the holographic dance. But it does mean you hold the master key to transforming your experience by shifting your consciousness within. If discord appears in your world, gently examine your beliefs and feelings for an inner cause. Often you will find a pattern within calling for healing. For example, repeated experiences of lack may stem from a deep belief in unworthiness or fear of scarcity. Address this by bringing love and truth to that belief. Recognize your true worth and the universe's abundance. Then watch your outer reality change as new opportunities and support appear when your vibration shifts. Realize also that you are a projection of the divine and therefore contain the totality of the divine's essence within you. Just as a single drop of ocean contains the essence of the whole, you carry within you all the qualities of Source. You are inherently creative, whole, and connected to all life. Embracing this, you step into your role as a conscious co-creator of your reality. You can begin to project intentionally by cultivating within you what you wish to see manifest. By aligning your inner visions with the highest love and wisdom of your soul, you create a life that reflects harmony, joy, and fulfillment. The practice is one of inner observation and alignment. Observe what you are projecting through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs without judgment. Each time you notice a fear-based narrative or limiting belief, recognize it as a slide in the holographic projector of your mind. You have the power to change the slide. Pause, breathe, and choose a new thought aligned with the truth of your being. Affirm the divine qualities within. I am safe, I am loved, I am abundant. I radiate peace. As you do this consistently, you will witness your personal and even collective hologram shift. Relationships transform, opportunities arise, and challenges soften because the light shining through you has become clearer and more loving. Remember that the world you see is not fixed or separate from you. It is intimately linked to your consciousness. By projecting from your heart's wisdom and soul's light, you bless your surroundings. Even those beyond your direct reach are touched by the ripples of change emanating from your inner work. Thus, you become the master of your hologram. The love you cultivate inside becomes the love you experience around you. In this way, projection becomes a conscious art, and your life becomes a canvas for the divine to shine through. At the core of your being lies the sacred I am presence, the pure essence of Source within you. Reclaiming this I am code means recognizing and aligning with the inner Christ frequency. The divine spark is your true identity. We speak of the Christ not as a historical figure, but as a state of enlightened consciousness carried in your core. It is the light of the Creator individualized within you. When you say I am, you invoke the creative force of the universe. Thus, it is vital to be conscious of what follows those words. Do you say I am weak, I am lacking? Or do you affirm I am divine, I am whole, I am abundant? By reclaiming the truth of who you really are, you reactivate the original light codes in your soul, allowing you to create and thrive as a divine being on earth. Humanity was conditioned to identify with the small self, personality, roles, stories, forgetting the majestic presence within. But now energies on earth are shifting to support you in remembering and embodying your I am nature. Right now, high frequency light flows into your planet, carrying activation codes for your inner Christ light. These energies stir a deep knowing that you are much more than your outer story. You might feel old limiting beliefs and identities falling away like an outgrown shell. This can be disorienting at times, as if parts of you are dying, but realize it is only the false ideas of I am dissolving, making space for the true I am to shine forth. To reclaim the I am code, begin with the simple yet profound practice of silent self-awareness. Take time each day to sit quietly and turn your attention inward to the presence of I am. Feel it as a subtle, luminous presence at your center. Do not dress it in descriptions. Simply experience I am without this or that. In those moments of pure existence, you are touching the eternal aspect of you that is one with Source. This practice aligns you to the Christ frequency naturally, for the Christ is that part of you which knows itself as one with the Creator. As you strengthen your awareness of the I am within, your words, thoughts, and creations begin to reflect this divine core. Your affirmations and intentions carry new power because they are backed by your soul's authentic vibration. Life responds to this vibration with grace and support. What you claim yourself to be from an I am consciousness tends to manifest more easily, for the universe echoes the statements of the Creator within you. Therefore, claim your true identity boldly and with reverence. I am light, I am love and form, I am the divine in action. When you assert such truths with conviction, you emit a resurrection code that renews and transforms every aspect of your life. Reclaiming the I am code is an act of remembering and self-permission. You allow yourself to be who you already are. No longer do you shrink or hide your light out of fear or false humility. Instead, you stand in the gentle power of self-knowing. This silently invites others to remember their own I am essence as well. Indeed, the awakened I in one being activates the code in many sparking waves of enlightenment. The inner Christ frequency, once ignited, becomes an unstoppable force of love that ripples through your world. So, dear one, we encourage you to affirm and feel the truth of your being each day. Let I am be a mantra that leads you back to your center whenever you feel scattered. As you reclaim this code, you fulfill your destiny as a creator in harmony with the Creator, anchoring the Christed vibration on earth for the benefit of all. Deep within you resides the master builder of your life, the consciousness that designs and shapes every experience. We call this the inner architect, the aspect of you in constant co-creation with the infinite. Every outer structure in your life, your body, your relationships, your circumstances is a thought form given shape by this inner architect in partnership with the divine. This doesn't mean your human mind controls every detail. Rather, your soul's intentions and divine intelligence work together to manifest forms for your growth. When you realize all outer architecture is born from an inner blueprint, you gain freedom to reshape your world by attending to that inner design. Consider that your soul came into this incarnation with certain designs or plans, a divine blueprint to explore specific themes, gifts, and lessons. The inner architect uses this blueprint along with the free will of your day-to-day thoughts and choices to construct the panorama of your life. Some structures in your life were built long ago from old beliefs or inherited patterns. If they no longer serve you, they can be redesigned. The first step is to go within and consult with the architect in silence. Through meditation or heartfelt prayer, you ask, is this structure, this condition or pattern in my life aligned with my highest good? Was it built from fear or from love? By observing without judgment, you empower your inner architect to adjust the plans. Sometimes a small shift in your belief or attitude can dissolve an old structure and allow a more harmonious one to arise in its place. Know that the infinite source is the ultimate foundation and substance of every creation. The inner architect does not work alone. It draws upon the infinite resources of the divine. Think of a master craftsperson with infinite materials, love, wisdom, and energy. When you consciously focus on your inner work, you supply the architect with the highest quality materials for building your life. For instance, turning to feelings of gratitude, faith, or divine love amid a challenge is like giving the architect sturdy, radiant bricks instead of brittle clay. The resulting life structures will reflect that strength and radiance. If you feed your inner architect materials of fear, resentment, or self-doubt, your life constructions may appear shaky or confined. Do not despair at this realization. It is actually a gift of awareness. It means by changing those inner supplies, you can renovate or rebuild any aspect of your life. The changes might not be instant in the outer world, but they begin immediately at the foundational level of consciousness. Trust this process. When you surrender an old fear to the light or replace a limiting belief with a liberating truth, you have redrawn the blueprint. Soon you will see evidence of new construction taking shape, perhaps new opportunities, healing, or inspiration arriving out of the blue. These are confirmations that your inner architect is hard at work with the divine, bringing forth new structures that better serve your soul. By honoring and intentionally collaborating with your inner architect, you step into your role as a conscious creator. Instead of feeling at the mercy of life structures, you realize you are both the architect and the occupant. You can remodel the house of your life from the inside out. Each time you align a thought with love or envision a higher outcome, you hand a new sketch to this creative presence within. Over time, the outer architecture must conform to the updated divine designs. This is spiritual law. The more you trust your inner architect's guidance, which is truly the guidance of your soul and source, the more graceful and synchronized your outer life becomes. Your world will feel tailor-made for your highest good because it is built by your inner architect in harmony with Source. Many spiritual seekers begin their journey aiming to improve themselves, to be better, wiser, more peaceful. Yet ascension or true enlightenment is not about polishing the human ego. It is about realizing the divine self that you already are. The shift from self-improvement to self-realization is a sacred turning point. Instead of striving to add something to yourself, you awaken to the truth that nothing is missing. You are inherently divine, and the process is one of unveiling, not constructing. All the qualities you seek, love, wisdom, strength, abundance, already exist within you in pure form. The spiritual journey then becomes less about effort and more about allowing the divine within to emerge. Self-improvement often carries the subtle assumption I am not enough, or I am broken and must be fixed. While growth and healing are natural, it's important to approach them from the higher truth of your wholeness. You are not a flawed human trying to become divine. You are the divine expressing as a human expanding its awareness. Embrace this perspective and your efforts transform. Meditation is no longer an attempt to escape or change yourself, but a practice of communing with your true self. Prayer becomes a gentle alignment with the perfection already in place, rather than a plea to acquire something lacking. Healing work shifts from fighting darkness to simply shining light, revealing that your core was never wounded. Only the surface mind believed in separation. As you move from striving to being, a great weight lifts. The need to constantly evaluate your spiritual progress softens because you understand that the infinite self is already fully present. Ironically, this is when genuine transformation accelerates. By releasing self-criticism, you create space for grace to operate. The light of the soul naturally begins to dissolve patterns that no longer serve. You find yourself making healthier choices, experiencing deeper peace, and expressing more authentic love. not because you force change, but because your true nature shines through. This is the essence of self-realization. Realizing the self is divine and letting that realization recalibrate all aspects of your life. In practical terms, living the 5D way, fifth dimensional consciousness means operating from your I am presence in everyday life. You still engage in learning and growth, but your attitude is different. You are not trying to become worthy or spiritual. You know you are a spiritual being and let that knowing guide your actions. Challenges that arise are met with an understanding that at your core you remain untouched. Instead of saying I must fix this part of me, you might say I allow the truth of my being to resolve this. You develop a profound trust that your higher self knows how to weave every experience into the tapestry of your perfection. Thus, your focus shifts from constant doing to loving awareness. Your life becomes a continual unfolding of the spirit you already are. From self-improvement to self-realization is a journey from effort to grace, from illusion to truth. As you accept that you are already divine, you treat yourself with the reverence and compassion you would offer a beloved master, because that is who you truly are. This gentle respect for your own divinity naturally extends to others, for seeing the God within yourself means recognizing it in every soul. You realize that ascension is not a race or a checklist, but an awakening to what has always been true. In this state, spiritual practices and daily life blend seamlessly, each moment an opportunity to experience the divine in you and around you. The grand secret is that you have been the light all along. Now you simply live in the light that you are. You are never alone. You exist in an ocean of living energy that is the Creator's field of being. In truth, there is no solid boundary between you and the source of all. Union with the field means recognizing a seamless continuum between the infinite and its individualized expressions. Imagine yourself as a wave on a vast cosmic sea, unique in form for a moment, yet one with the ocean at all times. Every cell of your body, every thought and emotion is connected to the totality of the field. When you quiet your mind and open your heart, you can tangibly feel the presence of something greater flowing through you because it is not outside of you. It is within and around you, the very substance of your existence. The concept of separation is the greatest illusion born of human experience. You appear to be a single point of consciousness in a vast universe. But in higher awareness, you see that you are a focal point of universal consciousness itself. In moments of stillness or prayer, you may have glimpsed this truth, a sensation of belonging to everything, of being cradled by an unceasing love. These are not just fleeting spiritual highs. They are memories of your natural state of oneness. Your soul knows that it is an extension of the source field, just as a sunbeam knows it comes from the sun. By affirming and meditating on this union, you strengthen your experience of it. Try remembering throughout the day, Source and I are one energy. What flows through the universe flows through me. Over time, this awareness becomes a steady inner support, especially in times of challenge. When you live in conscious union with the field, a beautiful shift occurs. You operate less from ego and more from the guidance of the whole. Intuition blossoms, since you are attuned to the subtle currents of wisdom that permeate the field. You may find that needs are met in almost magical ways. Coincidences bring the right people or solutions at the right time, reflecting that the universe is moving in concert with you. In truth, it always has, but now you are aware of it and thus can cooperate more fully. Union with the field also nurtures deep compassion. You sense that hurting another is hurting yourself, while loving another expands the love in the entire field. This understanding naturally leads to more harmonious relationships and a sense of responsibility for the energy you contribute to the collective. Practically speaking, nurturing this union can be as simple as stepping into nature and recognizing the life force in the trees, sky, and earth as the same life force in you, or taking a few conscious breaths, noting that the air sustaining you has circled the globe and been shared by all beings. Inhale with the awareness, I am nourished by the whole. And exhale with gratitude, I give back to the whole. These small practices awaken a greater sensitivity to the interconnection of all life. Over time, you won't just believe in oneness as a concept, you will feel it. You will know the infinite field of the Creator is your true home, and that everywhere you go, you are in the embrace of divine unity. In this way, you walk the earth as a living, breathing expression of the Seamless One. Envision your understanding of self undergoing an upgrade, shifting from the belief, I am only a human seeking God, to the higher truth, I am God, the divine, exploring humanity. This is a profound evolution in identity that many on the spiritual path are now experiencing. The sacred identity upgrade means you no longer see yourself as a small being trying to reach something greater, but as an emanation of the greater working through a human life. This is not egoic inflation, but a humble and joyous realization that the Creator is expressing itself as you. When this awareness dawns, it changes everything. You recognize that your life is a sacred exploration rather than a test or punishment. You carry within you the authority and love of Source, for that is your very essence. In practical terms, this upgraded identity brings immense freedom and responsibility. Freedom, because you are no longer bound by the old story of unworthiness or separation. You know the infinite is within you. Responsibility, because knowing this, you are moved to live from your highest nature. You begin to ask in each situation not what would a fearful human do, but how would my divine self respond through love? The sacred I in you naturally guides your thoughts and actions when you allow it. As a result, you find it easier to release guilt, shame, and limitation, for these have no basis in your true being. You also release the need to idolize gurus or external saviors, for you understand that the same divine presence that lived in the great masters lives in you. This does not breed arrogance, but rather reverence for the divinity in all. The upgrade in identity is often gradual, glimpses of truth that gradually become sustained. You might have moments in meditation or daily life where you feel unmistakably, I am that I am. I and the divine are one. In those moments, an aura of peace and power envelops you. The challenges of life are seen from a higher vantage point as opportunities for the divine you to express creativity, compassion, or strength. Even mundane tasks can take on a glow because you approach them with the consciousness of the Creator rather than the drudgery of a limited self. This is a form of enlightenment in action, living each day as the God Self in human form, fully engaged in ordinary activities, yet illuminated by an extraordinary perspective. If doubts arise, how can I claim to be an expression of God? Know this, the conditioning of the old identity speaking. The truth is claiming your sacred identity honors God rather than diminishes. Think of a wave acknowledging it as ocean. It does not make the wave the entire ocean, but it knows it is of the same essence. So it is with you. Affirming I am an expression of the divine or God lives its life as me as a service to the Creator, for it allows the Creator's love and wisdom to shine unobstructed in this world. The more you accept this identity, the more you become a conduit for miracles, healing, and inspiration. You realize the saying, it is not I, but the Father within who does the work in a new light. The I that you are, your true self, is one with the Creator, and thus all you do from that awareness carries the power of the divine. Embracing the sacred identity upgrade does not mean abandoning your human individuality. Rather, it infuses it with divine light. You still have your beautiful quirks, talents, and personal expressions, but now they are recognized as instruments of the One. You become a unique melody in the symphony of creation, no less divine in your uniqueness. In fact, life becomes more rich because you are no longer resisting or diminishing who you are. You can fully embody your humanity, emotions, creativity, relationships, while simultaneously knowing your divinity. This balanced divine human experience is what many refer to as living 5D or living in Christ consciousnesses. Being in the world but not of it, being both creator and creation at once. It is the fulfillment of the ancient spiritual invitation to remember your godly heritage and live as a true child of the divine on earth. At the heart of your being is a divine core that nothing in the world can destroy. This is your immortal spark, the indestructible essence that has weathered every storm across lifetimes. You might experience fires of transformation, floods of emotion, or the collapse of outer forms. Yet notice how a part of you always remains intact. That silent witness, the pure living presence within, passes through every trial untouched. It is like a diamond deep in your being. Pressure and heat only reveal its brilliance. Never diminish it. Recognizing this core brings great strength and peace. When faced with loss, pain, or change, remind yourself that while the outer situation shifts, your true self is still whole and shining. This realization doesn't mean you deny difficulties. Instead, you engage with life knowing you have an invincible center. Even death, which so many fear, is but a doorway for this core essence. It moves onward, carrying all the wisdom and love it has gathered utterly unharmed by the shedding of the body. In day-to-day life, you can connect with your indestructible core by quieting down and feeling the subtle pulse of I am within. There lies a reassurance: I exist. I endure. I am eternal. When you fully trust in your imperishable self, fear loses much of its power. You understand that no failure can truly break you. No success can truly complete you, because you are already complete in the divine sense. You begin to live more boldly and freely, daring to follow your heart's guidance. Challenges become less threatening. They are seen as waves that rise and fall on the ocean of your being while you, the ocean, remain. The indestructible core is your anchor in the wildest of storms. It is the Christ frequency or God spark within, the part of you made in the image of the infinite. With this awareness, you walk through fire and not be burned, metaphorically speaking. For you know the eternal life at your center can never be extinguished. Closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, is a phrase that hints at how intimately the divine is present in you. Every breath you take is shared with the infinite. Truly, the Creator's life force animates each of your cells. When we speak of the breath of the infinite, we mean that the very act of breathing can remind you of your unity with Source. Notice how you do not consciously force your breath. A higher intelligence breathes through you, sustaining you every moment. This is the divine as near as your next inhale. By bringing awareness to the breath, you tap into an immediate experience of the divine presence. For example, if you feel lonely or disconnected, sit and breathe slowly and deeply. With each inhale, think divine life flows into me. And with each exhale, I release and trust. Before long, you may sense a comforting energy filling you. That is the infinite within, assuring you that you are never apart. In fact, ancient wisdom tells that the name of God is the sound of the breath. It has no form, just the gentle ah of breathing in and out. Thus, every person, regardless of language or belief, is constantly speaking the name of the source with each breath, remembering that the divine is as close as your breath can transform how you handle stress and fear. In a tense moment, you might pause and take a conscious breath, realizing the Infinite One is right here sustaining me. Immediately, the sense of isolation diminishes. Your body relaxes because it recognizes the truth. It is being cared for by a power closer than your own thoughts. Regular breath awareness or breathing meditation can build a steady sense of this closeness. Over time, you carry an inner confidence that you are guided and supported from within. You literally live by the breath of God, and this is an endless supply that never fails. Let each breath be a reminder. The Creator is not distant at all, but moving through you in every sacred moment, as intimate as the air in your lungs. Walking beside you through every chapter of your life is an eternal presence. Your higher self, your guardian, the divine spark that we call the quantum companion. This is the aspect of Source that is always with you across all timelines and dimensions. You may have sensed it in difficult times, a comforting voice, or an inexplicable guidance that seemed to come from beyond. In truth, it comes from the quantum level of your being where you and Source meet. This companion is eternal and constant. It was with you before you were born and remains with you after you shed the physical. Knowing that you have this unwavering presence with you brings tremendous courage. In moments of solitude or uncertainty, you can inwardly address this companion and feel its response in intuition or synchronicity. Some experience it as an angel or guide, others as the presence of their own soul or the Christ within. The form does not matter. It is the loving intelligence of the divine assuring you, I am here always. When you acknowledge and invite this companion's help, life's journey feels more like a co-creation than a lonely trek. You realize that every step you take, the universe steps with you. Even across multiple lifetimes or parallel realities, this same I am presence accompanies you, learning and growing through all your experiences. You are never truly lost or forgotten because the quantum companion holds the thread of your soul's journey. In a very real way, it is the true you, the you beyond any single incarnation ever connected to God. By attuning to it through meditation, prayer, or simply quiet reflection, you strengthen your awareness of this eternal friendship. You might go through a challenge and later see how someone was quietly orchestrating events to guide you through. That was your companion working with the universe to support your highest good. Trust in this eternal presence. Feel its hand in yours as you venture through life's twists and turns. And know that in every timeline, in every reality, the loving essence of the divine is right by your side. Beyond rituals, words, or outer show, the most powerful spiritual practice is done in the silent sanctuary of your soul. We call it the secret practice. Entering an inner stillness where you commune directly with the divine with no need for anyone else to witness or validate it. In that deep silence beyond thought, you find what the heart truly seeks: union, peace, understanding. This practice might look simply like sitting quietly closing your eyes and listening to your breath or the space within. To any observer, nothing is happening. Yet on unseen levels, you are aligning with the source of all answers and blessings. In this wordless prayer, you are not asking for things or reciting formulas. You are simply being present with spirit. You surrender the noisy demands of the mind and open to whatever the divine wills to impart. Often profound insights or a feeling of loving embrace will arise in this stillness unbidden. It is as if God whispers to you in the space where your thoughts have paused. Such moments carry immense power. They are when healing can occur, guidance can be received, and your soul is rejuvenated. The beauty of the secret practice is that it is always available. No matter where you are or what is happening, you can take a minute to go within, center yourself, and touch the sacred. Over time, this inner communion becomes the foundation of your life. You may still attend services, read spiritual texts, or pray with words as you feel guided, but you know that the real chamber of meeting God is within your own heart. And in that private communion, no outside accolades are needed. As the Master Jesus advised, you pray in the inner chamber with the door closed, and the Father who sees in secret rewards you openly. In modern terms, this means the results of your silent union, such as peace, clarity, healing, will naturally show up in your outer life without you having to proclaim a thing. By keeping your practice secret in the sense of sacred privacy, you protect it from ego or performative tendencies. It remains a pure love exchange between your soul and the divine. Make space each day for a few minutes of this secret rendezvous. In time, you will realize it is not empty silence at all, but the most nourishing conversation. One without words, where only truth is spoken heart to heart with the Creator. In that quiet, you become aware of the unshakable connection that has always existed. This is true prayer, true meditation, a return to oneness behind the scenes of life where miracles are born. Every act of goodness, every prayer or loving thought you offer in secret is felt across the universe and returns to you in kind. This is the law of invisible reciprocity, the understanding that energy moves in a circle, seen or unseen. When you perform an act of love without looking for recognition, silently blessing someone, or helping anonymously, that vibration enters the unified field and blesses all life. You might not see immediate results, but the energy you give out is recorded in the fabric of creation and will come back to you, often amplified. This law assures you that no kindness is ever wasted or lost. A gentle smile to a stranger might ripple through their day and inspire them to be kinder to someone else. A silent prayer for the world might soften events in ways you cannot measure. Sometimes the effects of your love return through unexpected channels. Help arrives for you right when you need it, or you feel a deep peace that seems to come from nowhere. In truth, it is the universe responding in kind to the vibrations you have been emitting. Understanding invisible reciprocity encourages you to act from the heart even when no one is watching. It shifts motivation away from seeking external reward to the intrinsic joy of loving. It aligns with the higher truth that we are all connected. What you do for another, you ultimately do for yourself and for the whole. This doesn't mean you perform kindness just to get something back. That would still be a conditional mindset. but rather that you trust living with love and integrity naturally creates harmony in your life and the world. You give freely and life gives freely to you. You can work with this principle deliberately. If there is something you feel lacking in your life, try giving that very thing to someone else in a sincere way. If you need encouragement, encourage others. If you need abundance, share generously what you have. If you seek understanding, practice deep listening to others. By activating the flow, you signal to the universe that you are in a state of wholeness rather than lack. What returns to you may not always come the same source you gave to, but it will come where and when it's needed. The divine balance is always maintained. In this dance of unseen giving and receiving, you come to trust the benevolent circuitry of the cosmos. Your silent love contributes to the collective upliftment, and the love of the collective sustains you in return. Your true virtue and divine light often shine brightest when not announced. The hidden radiance refers to the reality that your inner goodness is felt energetically by others and by the universe, even if you never proclaim it. In a world fixated on outward displays, this principle reminds us that the soul's light needs no marketing. It simply is, and its presence uplifts quietly. Think of those humble individuals whose very aura brings comfort or inspiration without them saying a word about their achievements. Their radiance is hidden only in that it is uncontentious, but it is certainly perceived at a subtle level. By trusting in your hidden radiance, you release the need to prove your spirituality or goodness. You become content to let your actions and energy speak for themselves. This aligns with the wisdom that by their fruits you shall know them, meaning your life and the love you emanate are the true testimony. If you have been growing in compassion, you need not wear a badge that says compassionate person. Those around you will feel it in your kindness and patience. Likewise, if you attain a beautiful spiritual insight, you don't need to persuade others. Simply embody it, and those who are receptive will notice something shining through you. This approach not only avoids spiritual ego traps, but it preserves the sanctity of your growth. When you guard your sacred experiences and virtues with some privacy, they can mature without interference from others' opinions or validations. It's like keeping a candle safe from the wind so it can grow into a steady flame. In time, your light may become evident to many, but by then it will be robust and pure, not entangled with a desire for recognition. Remember, the sun does not have to tell the world it is shining. Life naturally responds to its light. In the same way, trust that your goodness, love, and divinity are quietly making their mark. You need not shout them out. Continue to nurture your inner light through integrity and love in action. The universe sees and responds to energy more than words. In embracing your hidden radiance, you allow the divine to humbly yet powerfully influence the world through you with no need for personal fanfare. The statement I am is far more than a simple phrase. It is a powerful vibration that creates and recreates. When you declare I am, you activate the creative engine of the universe within you. This I am frequency is essentially a code for resurrection and renewal. Consider the miracles attributed to spiritual masters. Healing the sick, raising the dead, manifesting abundance. These were not magic tricks, but demonstrations of mastery over illusion by wielding the I am consciousness. The same principle lives in you. Understanding that I, your true self, united with Source, is the wellspring of life, can literally resurrect aspects of your world that seemed lost or dead. For example, if you have been ill or discouraged, attuning to your I am presence can rejuvenate your body and spirit in ways conventional thinking might call a miracle. That is because the I am within you holds the original divine blueprint of wholeness and can restore you to it. Likewise, if some area of your life, a relationship, a creative endeavor has withered, connecting to the I am frequency and affirming life can breathe new vitality into it. I am the resurrection and the life, said the Christ through Jesus as a proclamation of the God essence, reviving what was thought dead or impossible. To work with this resurrection code, begin by meditating on your I am nature as the light of God within. Affirm gently yet steadily. I am the light renewing every cell. I am the love restoring the situation. I am one with infinite supply and possibility. Rather than pleading for change, you are stating from the highest truth, that the change is already seated in the quantum reality. You are essentially commanding the mortal appearance to realign with the living pattern of the divine. This is done not with force or human will, but with conviction and faith in the creative word I am. Be patient and consistent with this practice and watch how things resurrect in your experience. Sometimes it is the form that changes, an illness heals, a hardship resolves, and sometimes it is you who change. You gain new vision and strength that transcend the problem. Either way, the effect of the I am frequency is to bring forth life where there was stagnation or despair. It is like springtime for the soul and the world around you. By understanding and using this code, you step into your role as a co-creator who can call forth life from the light, blessing and renewing whatever you direct your enlightened consciousness toward. Within you exists an awareness that simply observes. Pure consciousness, untouched by the drama of personality and circumstances. This is the eternal witness, the aspect of you that has been watching your life unfold from the beginning and even before birth. It is the ever-present consciousness that noticed your childhood joys and sorrows, that observes your thoughts and emotions, even now. By learning to identify with this witness perspective, you gain tremendous spiritual freedom. You realize that you are not the changing thoughts, not the fleeting emotions, not the roles you play. You are the one who is aware of them. And this observer you is calm, clear, and connected to the divine at all times. Seeing through the illusion of personality means recognizing that the persona you wear in this lifetime is just a role in a grand play. It's a meaningful role, yes, but not the entirety of who you are. The eternal witness in you watches the role without getting lost in it. For instance, when anger or fear arises, the witness notes, anger is present, rather than, I am anger. This slight shift has enormous impact. It creates space around the experience, allowing divine wisdom to guide your response instead of a reactive ego. Practicing witness consciousness can be as simple as taking a mental step in any situation. In a conversation, part of you listens and another part observes the whole interaction from a higher vantage. With time, you find that this witness presence grows stronger and seems to gently steer you toward more enlightened choices. It is not detached in a cold way. Rather, it's compassionately detached. The witness loves the human you and wants the best for you, but it doesn't buy into panic or negativity. It knows that all is ultimately well, for it sees from the soul's broad view. Embracing your eternal witness does not mean you become passive or emotionless. In fact, it allows you to experience life more fully and authentically, because you're no longer overwhelmed or identified with every wave that comes. You can laugh at yourself with kindness, recognizing the play without being consumed by it. This is the ever-present consciousness, observing all a spark of the divine within you. When you live with awareness of the eternal witness, you carry a constant center of peace into any circumstance. The storms of life may swirl, but at the core you abide in the eye of the storm, the quiet, all-seeing presence of the soul. Have you ever thought of someone and moments later they call you, or felt an instant kinship with a stranger? These experiences hint at quantum communication happening beyond technology. The IAM field is like a universal network linking all souls via the resonance of consciousness. Souls find one another not just by physical means, but by frequency matching. When your heart sends out a certain vibration, it reaches others tuned to that same channel. This is how kindred spirits come together across distances, and how prayers reach their intended targets without a phone or internet. In the IAM field, intention is the signal and attention is the receiver. If you hold a loved one in mind with warmth and love, that energy travels instantly through the field to touch them. They might suddenly feel comforted or think of you out of the blue. We often call this telepathy or synchronicity, but it is essentially quantum communication. Information and energy sharing a common field. As you raise your own vibration to love, peace, and truth, you will notice you start meeting more people on that wavelength. By elevating your frequency, you light up on the radar of souls who share your light. Like attracts like, and the I field naturally brings congruent energies together. You can consciously use this principle to foster meaningful connections through meditation or prayer. Tune into the field and broadcast a call for those of similar purpose or needed skills to enter your life. Rather than searching frantically outward, align your inner world with the feeling of already being connected. Many spiritual communities and partnerships have formed in seemingly miraculous ways due to such frequency matchmaking. Likewise, when you seek to help or heal, know that your compassionate intention travels through the I am field to uplift the recipient, even if you never physically meet. This quantum network also means your inner work benefits more than just you. When you heal an aspect of yourself or achieve a new insight, that pattern becomes accessible in the collective field for others to pick up. In essence, our souls are in constant conference, sharing data beyond the limits of time and space. By nurturing positive, loving frequencies in yourself, you contribute to a web of higher consciousness that helps awakened souls find each other and support one another. In this way, we create a resonant community without wires or devices. A communion of kindred lights meeting heart to heart through the expanse of the I am field. All of these insights and shifts lead to one thing, a new way of living on Earth. Living the 5D way means moving through the world guided by the indwelling presence, the I that is creator within you. In practical terms, it's living from love and unity consciousness instead of fear and separation. You still attend to the responsibilities of 3D life, work, relationships, physical care, but you do so with expanded awareness. You intuitively sense the holographic nature of reality and navigate it with grace. You listen to your inner guidance, the voice of your soul in making choices, trusting it aligns with the highest good for you and all. In 5D living, challenges are approached as opportunities for creation rather than problems to dread. For example, if something in the outer hologram appears disharmonious, you immediately go within to the I am presence. Seek its perspective and allow that higher vibration to lead the way. Solutions often arise in surprising and flowing ways because you are collaborating with the universe rather than struggling alone. You might notice more synchronicities, faster manifestations of thoughts into reality, and a general sense that life supports your spiritual growth. By living the 5D way, you are in harmony with the divine design. The outer world becomes more malleable, responding to the energy and consciousness you cultivate inside. This way of life also emphasizes compassion and inclusion. You naturally see the creator in others and strive for win-win outcomes. The notion of competition gives way to co-creation. You understand that as you lift up your own consciousness, you lift up the whole and vice versa. Thus, service to others becomes second nature, not from martyrdom, but from genuine recognition of oneness. You may find yourself drawn to communities or projects that reflect 5D values: cooperation, transparency, heart-centered leadership, and respect for all life. These are the seeds of the new earth taking root through you and many like you. Finally, living the 5D way is a dynamic present moment experience. You remain flexible and open, listening to the divine in each now. Rather than clinging to how things should be, you flow with what is, infusing it with light. You become a walking meditation, grounded in daily life, yet ever aware of the sacredness underlying it. The indwelling I am is your compass. Its love and wisdom guide each step. In this state, you truly become the creator, experiencing its creation joyfully. This is the fulfillment of reclaiming the I am code, not escaping Earth, but elevating it by the way you live and love each day. As you do so, you inspire others by example to awaken and join in this higher octave of existence. Together, you are living embodiment of the new consciousness, co-creating a reality aligned with heaven on earth. I honor all of humanity in the oneness we truly all are.